It all started after the funeral. The air inside the old farmhouse was thick with memories. The scent of coffee, the ticking of the kitchen clock, and the sound of whispered arguments echoing from the next room. 3 siblings, Emma, Jack, and their younger sister, Ruth, sat around the dining table, the will of their late father lying between them. Jack tapped his fingers impatiently. "Dad promised me the land," he said. "He told me himself." Emma looked up slowly, her voice calm but tired. "He told me he wanted it split evenly, Jack." Ruth, the quiet one, just stared at the old family photo on the wall, their father smiling beside a field of golden wheat. He'd worked that land for 50 years, and now it was tearing his children apart. Weeks passed, letters from lawyers arrived, phone calls ended in shouting, and that old farmhouse, once filled with laughter, grew colder with every visit. Then one afternoon, Ruth received an envelope, no return address, just her name, written in shaky handwriting she recognized. Inside was a copy of the will, but something was different. There was an added clause, handwritten at the bottom. "All property shall belong to my son, Jack." Her heart dropped. She'd seen their father's handwriting 1,000 times. Birthday cards, grocery lists, little notes left on the fridge. This wasn't it. She called Emma immediately. "Meet me tomorrow." At Dad's house the next day, the sisters searched through drawers, boxes, old records. In the back of a wooden chest, they found the original will, the real one. It was signed, sealed, and said exactly what Emma remembered. "The land shall be divided equally among my children." Ruth sat back, stunned. "He forged it, Emma." Jack forged Dad's signature. Emma's hands trembled. "I can't believe he'd do that." "Maybe he thought it was his right," Ruth whispered. "He worked the fields the longest." But still, the sisters looked at each other, realizing what had to come next. That evening, they invited Jack to the farmhouse, the one place where every truth had once lived. He arrived just after sunset, his boots muddy, his expression hard. "So what's this about?" he said. Emma laid both wills on the table. The air grew heavy. "We found this," she said quietly. "And this one too." Jack looked down. His jaw tightened. His eyes flickered between them, the fake and the real. "You went through Dad's things?" he asked coldly. "We had to," Ruth said softly. "You lied to us, Jack." For a long moment he said nothing. Then he sighed, the sound of guilt filling the silence. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone," he said. "I just thought, after everything I gave to this family, maybe I deserved it." Emma's voice trembled. "You deserved love, Jack." Not the land. He looked at her, and for the first time in years, the anger in his face turned to shame. Outside, the wind howled across the fields, the same fields their father had loved, the same fields Jack had tried to claim, to be continued. The next morning, Jack came back, alone. He stood in the kitchen doorway, holding the fake will in his hands. "I burned the copy," he said quietly. "I couldn't live with it anymore." Emma nodded slowly. Ruth poured him a cup of coffee, the same way their father always had. For the first time in months, they sat together, not as enemies, but as a family trying to heal. Over the next few weeks, they worked side by side to settle their father's affairs. They sold part of the land to cover debts and split the rest just as he had wished. Neighbors noticed the change. The Coleman family, once divided, had found peace again, but the scars of greed lingered, a quiet reminder of how easily love can break when honesty leaves the room. One Sunday, after the first harvest, Emma placed a wooden sign by the road. It read, Coleman Farm, for family, not fortune. She smiled through tears. Dad would have liked that, Ruth said softly. Jack just nodded. He always said honesty was like sunlight. You can hide from it for a while, but not forever. Emma turned to him. Do you regret it? He thought for a moment. Every day, he said. But maybe that's what keeps me honest now. Moral. Greed destroys faster than honesty can rebuild. And when truth finally returns, it doesn't erase the damage. It teaches us never to cause it again. Thank you for listening to The Inheritance Lie. If this story touched your heart, please share it. Someone out there might need its message today. What do you think is harder, forgiving a lie or admitting one? Let's talk about it in the comments. Subscribe for more emotional, real-life stories about truth, love, and the lessons we only learn through time. Until next time, remember, honesty may cost you peace for a moment, but lies will cost you peace forever.